Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the workshop of the Board of County Commissioners for May 8th. Would you all please arise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. We have kind of a quick agenda today, it looks like. I don't see anybody in here from the Denkai Animal Sanctuary. So, Travis, are these, Tyler Hurst here is here to talk about the PABs, the private activity bonds. I think we'll just go down to item number 2.
Sounds good.
All right, how's it going, everyone? My name is Tyler Hurst. I am a development associate with Steel Properties, and I'm here with Deb Quinlan. She is a development manager with Steel Properties as well, and we're here to talk with you about private activity bonds for affordable housing and a project located here in Aurora called Weatherstone Apartments. And let me just see here if I can share my screen. We have a PowerPoint presentation for you all.
I'll have to give you authority on my end real quick, Tyler.
Okay, no worries. Thank you all for having us.
You bet. Thank you.
I can have my granddaughter come in and help you out.
I need it. There it is.
All right.
You've got the controls.
All righty, thank you, sir. Let's see here. Wait 1 second here, sorry about that. Okay. Sorry, can you guys can you see the presentation mode, or are you guys just seeing the PowerPoint?
We're just seeing the PowerPoint right now.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get it in the presentation mode and it won't let me with my other monitor here.
We can go off the PowerPoint too. We've got a
Okay,
pretty good
yeah, if
view
you
of
guys are okay with that, we'll just go along with that. As I said, my name's Tyler Hurst, development associate here at Steel, and joined here is Deb Quinlan, our senior development manager, working on this project with me. Yeah, like I said, want to talk a little bit about private activity bonds as well as our project here, Weatherstone Apartments. Just to give a little background on Steel Properties. Steel Properties based here in Denver, Colorado. We specialize in acquiring and rehabbing affordable multifamily rental properties. We own over 85, own and developed over 85 properties with almost 8,500 units in 24 states currently. We're continuously searching for new markets to expand our portfolio to serve more individuals, families, seniors, as well as those with disabilities with clean, fair, and great housing that they deserve. So a little background as well. We do have experience with Montezuma County and the Housing Authority. We've been lucky enough to partner with the Housing Authority locally there on Sleeping Ute, as well as a project here in Denver, Denver Gardens. So we really appreciate the county's support already in those projects, and hope to keep this relationship going here in the future. kind of going down here, wanted to talk a little bit also about Monroe Group. Monroe Group is our property management partner. We have 250 employees here at Monroe Group, and Monroe Group is actually one of the fastest growing affordable management companies here in the country. And, you know, over 80 properties managed with over 8,000 units in 24 states currently. With that, I'm going to pass it over to Deb. She's going to talk through private activity bonds in the background there.
Can you all hear me okay?
Yes.
Yep.
Great. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. So my name is Deb, as Tyler said, and I'm not sure, how much you already know about the private activity bond, so I'll just give you a brief either reminder or explanation. The PABs are tax-exempt bonds that are a federal resource that has been allocated from DOLA, the Division of Housing, to the municipalities across the state based on your population size. And that allocation is an authority to authorize the issuance of bonds. It doesn't have an actual cash value. And municipalities don't have any obligation to repay the investors. It's just the go-ahead to use that resource for a privately developed project, and generally that is for the affordable housing in the state. And it is a very limited resource in Colorado, just because we have so much development across the state, and because affordable housing is so very needed and in such a limited resource right now. So by September 15th, you have 3 options of how to use your allocation. You can either act as the issuer for a project, you can assign to another issuer, which is what we're here asking you for, or you can relinquish that allocation back to the state. Next slide, please, Tyler. So in our conversations with the Housing Authority, it sounds like there isn't a local need at the moment, which is why we are here today to request a resolution to assign the private activity bonds to the Aurora Housing Authority for Weatherstone Apartments. The county's allocation this year is just over $1.5 million. And so I think this gives you the opportunity to support a really impactful project with a developer that you know, since we have the history with the Housing Authority. And so it gives the opportunity to use those funds for something important, since there isn't a local need at the moment. So I will turn it back to Tyler to tell you more about Weatherstone Apartments, give you an overview of what the funds can be used for.
Thanks, Deb. Yeah, so Weatherstone Apartments, a brief little summary here. So it is located in Aurora, Colorado, just outside of Denver here. It is the property is comprised of 204 units, mix of 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, and 3-bedroom units. As a family property, that means over 200 families inhabit the property. The property is 100% project-based Section 8 under a HAP contract. 100% of the units are serving families that are 60% or below the area median income. And like I said, it is a family property, so this size of a renovation is going to be very impactful. Just being that it's a family property, it has definitely over the years weathered, I guess pun intended. We really want to turn it around for these residents. It was built in 1981, and it sits on just over 9.5 acres with all 2-story buildings. And I guess stemming off of that, I'd like to just talk a little bit through our improvements that we plan on doing. And so with the rehabilitation, we are planning a scope over $12 million to focus on a few of these following goals here. Number 1 being preserving the building as an affordable, keeping it affordable and preserving, the building systems with upgrades. the immediate needs of these upgrades are dictated by our third-party property condition analysis, as well as our internal knowledge of the building's needs based on the maintenance team's assessment. We plan to provide many much needed security upgrades, such as improved lighting on site, security cameras, and a better monitoring system for those cameras. Number 3 is going to be, modernizing the property, giving it modern upgrades to help improve the quality of life for the tenants, such as green improvements for energy efficiency, actually through the Enterprise Green Communities program. So we're really excited about that. And then obviously, ensuring compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act is another huge goal of ours and obviously necessity. And then lastly, number 5 is providing resident services to the community to further support the community and families who live there, which we are also very excited about. And I guess here, Deb, I think is going to talk a little bit more about how the project is financed and our sources for the project.
Yeah, so just to kind of circle back on the improvements that Tyler explained, the way we fund this $12 million renovation is through the private activity bond, which provides debt for the project. You then use the low-income housing tax credit, which the 4% tax credit is non-competitive. So once we are able to secure the private activity bonds required in order to use that tax credit, we would then apply to CHAFA in a non-competitive application to secure the tax credit financing, which then we partner with an investor who provides equity. The owner will also be contributing funds towards the project through developer fee and operational income during the construction. So then, that shows their commitment to the project. Monroe Group is a long-term property manager and feel ownership to stick with the property. We've actually been involved with Weatherstone for 15 years, and we hope to be involved for another 15 years. So we're not trying to do a renovation and then move on. We've got skin in the game, so to speak. And then, Tyler, you can go to the last slide. Our timeline, just to give you kind of an idea here, we're in this first phase of trying to secure the private activity bonds that are required, and then we'll apply to CHAFA in January next year. We'll close 6 months later, just based on the timeline for CHAFA's application and to get all of the financing partners in place. And then the renovations should take roughly a year, just because it's such a large property, and being able to go through the building while it's occupied just takes a little bit of time. So thank you for listening to us, and we'll be happy to answer any questions.
I actually have a question, and either one of you can answer this. You probably both know it, but on, I think, the 4th or 5th slide there, you said that 60% of the people in Aurora, or in that general area, I guess is what I'm relating to, are below the AMI. What is the AMI in that area?
Yeah, so what that slide refers to actually is the population at Weatherstone, in particular. The Weatherstone apartments, everyone living there will be below 60% of the area median income. And I believe, I was just looking at this, and so I want to tell you accurately because I actually have that information, but it does depend on family size. But I think for a 4-person family, I believe that 60% of area median income was about $45,000 annually.
So it's pretty low then. It's
Yeah.
pretty low, which,
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, in a metropolitan area like that, I'm surprised that I mean, 45,000 is as the average. That's, you don't get anything up there in that front
Yeah.
range for 45,000. I don't know how anybody can afford to live. So what is your
Right.
estimated rent, obviously for 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, whatever you have? Do you have a projection? Because I know there's a limit that you can go to keep it there. Is that the $800, $900 figure? What is that?
Yeah, so the important thing about this property in particular is that it's 100% project-based Section 8. And with this Section 8 HAP contract, the residents who are living there only pay 30% of their income to live at the property, and then the federal government makes up any difference in rent. So if the family is making, $100 a month, they would pay $30 for rent. I just used easy numbers,
Right.
easy math there. But yeah, so it's always going to be affordable no matter what their income is, which is hard to find Section 8 properties these days. There's a lot of long waiting lists.
Okay. That's all I had, Deborah. Thank you. Commissioners?
Gerald, you have anything? I have I guess a curiosity more than anything. Are you guys required to put in EV charging stations in your remodels?
We are not. CHAFA, the state agency, does have an EV requirement for new construction, but they are not currently requiring it for renovation.
Thank you.
And I do want to just circle back to your question to clarify, because I found the correct number. 60% of the area median income in Aurora right now is $47,000. So dividing that by 60%, so the area median income is $78,000. But to qualify to live there, you have to be below $47,000.
Okay.
Commissioners, I looked over the resolution. It's pretty much identical to the resolutions we've signed in the past for the private activity bonds. It is in your packets, and so I don't have any concerns with it. I think it was summed up in the presentation, and this is the same thing that we've done in the past with sleeping apartments and some other projects as well.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate your all's time, and if you don't have anything else, we'll make our decisions tomorrow.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you guys so much.
Yep.
You bet. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
All
Bye.
right.
Okay, now we can go back up to the top. We have LeeAnn here. If you want to come down and grab a seat or a podium, whatever makes you comfortable, and turn on the mic and the floor will be yours.
Okay. So we are proposing, turn this one?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, still off. Trade mics.
So working?
Yeah, how about that?
You're
The light's not.
All right.
Pull it
So-
as close as you can, though.
Okay, yes,
And,
sir.
and the reason why is because the people that are watching out there, if you don't have the mic on, it's really difficult to hear.
Okay. So we are proposing, Denkai is proposing to have an event, fundraiser on the 20th of May for dog adoptions. This will be a kind of a I don't know if you have, how can I put up on the screen the map that we decided? Oh, okay. All right, so you see the map. So it would just be a portion of the parking lot. And I've already talked with the city of Cortez. So we weren't able to get with CDOT so we could close off from the highway back.
What's in there right away?
Yeah. So, but then next year we have different plans as well. So we're just trying to kind of get over this hump, and Travis has been very, very, very helpful with us getting through this. So we just want to use a portion of the parking lot to put vendors in. I don't know. We don't need any electric or anything like that.
So this is just for a fundraiser, just for the,
Just for Denkai.
for the
Yeah,
Denkai?
yes.
Okay.
And it would just be, for 7 a.m. till about 5 p.m.
LeeAnn, will there be food vendors there?
Yes. We have the farm doing that. They will be, so they're going to be using the alcohol part of it is going to be through them. They have their, what is that called?
The liquor license?
Yes.
Special
Well,
event liquor
well,
license?
No, it's where you can serve outside of,
If it's on our premises, typically you have to have a special event liquor
ours is
license.
on the cities.
Okay,
So there will be no liquor on yours. There will be no food on yours.
okay.
It would just be vendors.
Just, so the city street is where you're gonna place all of that?
Yes,
So
correct.
just the parking lot is all we're talking about with no food vendors, no
No food
alcohol
vendors and no alcohol. I've already went through that with the city,
It's
with the.
really a very small portion,
Yeah.
It's just this, yeah.
about a half of the lower
It's just
parking
that,
lot.
yeah, just that one side.
When you're talking vendors, what kind of vendors?
There's a plethora of them. So there's anyone from clothing people. It's just basically Main Street vendors, business owners, small market farmer people, things like that. It's not. Not anything crazy. There's no marijuana or what. I don't know what your concerns are.
That wasn't mine, it came with.
Oh, okay.
It must be Travis's.
We already have 14 vendors. A lot of them are just farmers, small farmers.
So, just 1 second. So, the farmer's market doesn't start till June, right, Travis? And we gave the parking area the week prior to the seed
Correct, on the 27th.
seed exchange or swap or whatever.
Yeah,
So this-
seedling sale or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
For the seeds.
And we tried really hard. I mean, we tried to accommodate that. With-
So this won't conflict with that. This is all prior.
Yes, this is
This
a week
the
prior.
Prior.
I don't have any other questions.
Okay, Gerald, do you have any questions?
Sorry about my archaic drawing there.
It shows what we need to see.
And then on the
Pretty much
screen
laid it
is
out.
their insurance.
Ah, I see that.
It's on Friday. Oh, it's on Friday?
It would be a
Uh,
Saturday.
The 20th, it's a Saturday,
Yeah.
Oh, it's a Saturday.
because otherwise the parking lot's full on a weekday.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess if we don't have any other questions, LeeAnn, we'll address it tomorrow. I don't,
The only thing that I would be sure is that we put a limitation on food vendors, because that's what we did to the farmer's market, and
but
so,
if they're in the street, we're not limiting them.
absolutely, but in that county lot, no go. I mean, I just don't want you guys to end up in a situation where a vendor applies and then all of a sudden they show up and start selling food out of our parking lot.
Okay, so
No food trucks.
we have to have no food in your area.
No
Yeah.
food trucks on our lots.
Okay,
They can be in the city street, obviously, we're not giving, that's not our lane, and that's theirs, and they can do whatever they want.
okay.
But I think Ian's correct, because we just denied that request last week, so to stay consistent with it, that would be,
We just want to stay in your good graces, so whatever we need to do, we will do. We will
Okay.
accommodate whatever we need to accommodate.
yeah, they can sit in the city street all day long, if they approved it.
Okay, perfect. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, we'll bring it up
Thank you,
tomorrow in our
Commissioners.
regular meeting.
Thank you.
All right, Travis, moving right along. We're going to discuss our SRS funding. And this year, I guess we can discuss it, but then Ian, I think per the statute, we have to get, and we can set it for next week, I think, Travis, to get the superintendents here or their designee, I think it says, right, Ian?
Yep, that is a requirement in the statute, so I'll get with Travis. I don't remember off the top of my head if there's a time limit or not, but I'll look it up and we'll either get it set
I
next
don't-
week or the following. I don't think there was.
I think there was, it was just,
You just have to meet
in
with
the
them.
past, it seems like they've never had 3 superintendents
Yep.
consistently, so I think they do now, so it'd be probably better sooner than later. So if you guys are okay with that, let's just get it on for
Yeah.
next week. Just send it to them and tell them we'll be discussing it next week for the allocation of how we're gonna distribute this. But Travis, with that, I'll let you go ahead and present what you have here for us.
So we got a little extra funding this year, and funding that we weren't anticipating, which is the Title III funding of $41,880. And I'll get with Ian on how that needs to proceed. So a total of $209,404 is what we've received. The $167 is what we can utilize for roads and the schools. But the Title III funding has some specifics that we can only spend those funds on. And that you should have that in your packet.
Yep.
I'll get with Ian and we'll make sure that we're following proper protocol because we've never received Title III funding before, so this is going to be a new adventure for us as well.
Looks like quite a few counties didn't get Title III, just by looking at the list.
Yeah, there's a lot of zeros there, which
Yeah.
I was kind of, but
I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
yeah, it is good. So really, we just need to have the discussion of, what are we going to do with the other 50%? Because 25 goes to Road and Bridge, 25 goes to the schools, and the 50% is discretionary for us. Last year, we put the 50% so that we could help pay for that road work that we're going to finish up this year down on 23, the airport. And then we can have that conversation open with the school district. So really, well, 25%, Travis, you're saying is 52,000?
Yeah, so if we broke it up like we did last year, 52 would go to the schools and then 115 would go towards distribution, minimum distribution and school districts, however you wanted to break that up. But so, yeah, 52.3 would go to the schools. I believe last year,
It's in our packet how we split it up, or actually,
yeah, so last year the schools got 47,693.
and then it's broken out per
Per
student, for percentages.
Yes.
Yeah, I know, I saw the breakdown.
And that's something that the school administrators, school districts will have to decide how they want their allocation
Right, because at
appropriated.
one time we had the conversation, I think it was in 19 or 20, they were gonna put it all towards one school district because like Manka's $5,900 doesn't go very far. But I guess if they had a small special project, that would be up to them. But I think for us really is all we have to do is get them on the agenda for next Monday, and then we can follow the statute and we can decide what we want to do with that. But I will put a plug out there right now that we have had a lot of extra expenditures on our roads that we've had this year. I mean, P Road was a pretty good chunk of change that we had to fix, and we're not done with it yet, because I know Rob said that he still had to chip seal that later in the fall. 36 Road, we've got some
We got it fixed and then unfixed.
major road issues, here this spring too. So we'll have our discussion, put them on the workshop for next Monday, Travis, and let them all know, either the superintendents and or their designee, and we'll do what we have to do. All right, moving right along. Now, we're going to have a discussion of the possible lease of water rights owned by Montezuma County. And I had Rob just send that to me. And
So
you
we-
can see,
We may be a little bit premature on this. My understanding is Montezuma County owns some MVI shares, and so I wanted to get something on the agenda just to figure out what's going on with that water, whether it's leased or whether it isn't leased. But it sounds like we need to do some more research before we're really ready to discuss this fully. So
okay.
probably the best thing to do would just be to kick it to next Monday, unless any of you guys have anything more that you've learned.
I think you're right. I think we need to figure this all out before we're gonna go with it.
Are you good with that, Commissioner
Yeah.
Kopenifer?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay, well then we'll move this to next Monday's workshop also. All right, gentlemen, with that, we will now wait till 3:30 to have our E911 board meeting, so this workshop is adjourned. Thank you all.